On the day that FaZe Clan uploaded their first video to YouTube, the world was a completely different place than today. I mean, Instagram didn't exist, Minecraft hadn't officially released, and Drake was yet to drop his debut album.
Oh hey, what's up? It's FaZe Temper.
For over 15 years, FaZe Clan has constantly sat at the top of the internet's food chain like some sort of unkillable giant.
FaZe Clan!
But I guess the saying is true. The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
That same night, boom, cooked!
Over the course of just 72 hours, every member left the org.
I officially left FaZe Clan.
A 15-year dynasty ended.
FaZe Clan ended. It's gone.
And down went Goliath.
How does that happen?
I'm not sure, brother.
How do you kill the unkillable? Is it money?
Where's the money? Where is it?
Is it greed?
I don't really know what's going on.
How does the biggest org in the world get replaced by a talent agency?
I decided to leave DraftKings to launch HardScope.
When it comes to FaZe Clan, there's a lot that goes
Oh, I just know this guy's gonna have some crazy details
into it. I mean, you're talking about 15 years of problems building up until its final death. So before we really dive into the good stuff, we need to get everybody on the same page, at least on the important stuff. But don't worry, we're gonna speedrun it. Ready? On a macro level, you have two eras of FaZe. There's OG FaZe and there's new FaZe. When it comes to OG FaZe, there's four names that matter the most: Apex, Temper, Rain, and Banks. They're the founding fathers. They took FaZe from a clan tagging Call of Duty lobbies to one of the biggest names on the internet.
FaZe Clan.
FaZe Clan? FaZe Clan.
Together, they built one of the earliest blueprints for social media, pioneering things like content houses.
Wait, what about Rug? Yeah, I don't know. When I think OG FaZe, I think Rug.
Paving the way for the next generation of creators. OG FaZe reached the heights that it did because of how genuine it was. When they first started this whole thing, being an influencer wasn't even a thing, and neither was the money that came with it. But as the internet changed, OG FaZe died alongside it. As social media became a business, a crippling domino effect started.
This guy got introduced by somebody that everyone really trusted.
The founders brought someone in to help them grow as an actual company.
Steph came in.
Wait, is he about to cover everything?
And immediately started divide and conquer.
That original CEO brought in more people, brought in investors until eventually it was too late.
I literally heard with my own ears, people that got hired within a month or two saying, we don't need the founders.
The founders were essentially stripped out of their own company, and the friendship that FaZe was built on was shattered because of it. The corporate leaders took FaZe public, and it started out hot with a $1 billion valuation. But within a year, the stock plummeted. The company was on the verge of being delisted.
I still don't really understand the old,
While that sounds horrible, it was actually the best case scenario for FaZe. This was the brand's second chance. The company was run into the ground because the people running it didn't understand it. This rock bottom was the birth of new FaZe. To fix the problems behind the crash, a company called GameSquare acquired FaZe and put the people who knew it best back into leadership roles. The founders were back driving the ship.
Because we're taking this back, and we're running it the up, and your boys got plans.
For the past 2 years, we've watched as FaZe Clan return to its former glory, dominating the internet as a group of friends who really seem to be having fun making content. Or at least, that's how it seemed. Because we've now, for the second time, seen FaZe Clan crash and burn. Except this time, I don't really think it's getting back up.
Oh yeah. Chat, y'all think it's done this time for good or no?
It's sad, bro. Cause this really did mean something to me, bro.
So how does that happen? How do you get a second chance, do everything right, and still end up here? Well, what I've come to realize is that the revival of FaZe didn't play out quite how it was marketed. And to best explain it, we've got to start back at the blank slate, just a few months before the GameSquare acquisition.
Okay.
This puppy is crashing harder than DB Cooper when he jumped out of that airplane. A 95.8% decrease. It is disastrous.
So early 2023, FaZe's stock is in a freefall. Mass layoffs are happening left and right, and all of the FaZe members are publicly trashing the leadership.
It's such a privilege to be in FaZe, right?
It's a mess. The board finally realizes it's over. They're bleeding money, they've got no plan to turn it around, and no investment bank wants to touch them. So they do the only thing left. They start shopping the company around, basically looking for someone willing to make FaZe their problem.
I don't know how long it was until the GameSquare stuff started, but I think for the first time in a long time, us four founders kind of were talking,
Hold on, I have a booger, bro.
actively.
So,
chat, hold on, bro. I'm gonna pause. I actually have a booger and it's really bothering me and I can't get it out, bro. There we go.
I remember even Banks posting a picture of us four saying up to something. And it was like us four outside of like a mirror. There was like an elevator.
Nothing's in stone yet. We're still figuring things out, but I pray and I hope that things do. And I just genuinely believe they are. Even if things go south, as long as we're unified, we're all on the same side, I think in the end of the day, we'll win. I just genuinely do. I don't know what it is. It's just something's telling me, my soul's telling me everything's gonna work out. I believe it.
After we met as a group of four for all these months trying to figure out what
Wait, is this before I joined chat?
Decisions were made, things happened.
Is this before?
And then really, you know, Banks took the reins, and then it was kind of like just a big show at that point. And I'm not necessarily saying that in a good or bad way. I'm just saying that's what happened.
The founders got together and came up with a plan to take FaZe back. They worked together to write a term sheet and pitched it to the board. Ultimately, the board said no, and the conversation shifted to an offer from GameSquare.
Way before.
And I blessed
this is
GameSquare
2023.
coming in and buying
That's not way before. It's a year.
Because Kenna came to me before there was any purchase made, and said the only way that we're gonna do this is if you're the guy who's gonna run it.
On paper, the deal looked simple enough. GameSquare would buy FaZe Clan for $14 million.
Bro, the thing about y'all don't understand about me, bro, is I deadass knew FaZe before I knew a lot about FaZe. I deadass knew a lot about
dollars in an all-stock transaction. They'd bring the founders back, put them in leadership roles, and let them actually run the company. The board approved it, 3 founders signed it, 1 didn't. Now, building a business on social media is harder than most people think. I mean, growing a following is one thing, but actually making money from it is a totally different beast. That's where WAP comes in. WAP is an internet market designed to run even a stitch on the community on WAP with side hustles, or we got WAP at the link below. So were you actively like fighting against it, or were you just like tapped out?
The new streamers, the new guys?
Like corporate coming back in. And FaZe being
corporate coming back in, 1,000,000% against the corporate shit. The new guys I was not against.
Once the acquisition was announced, the PR-loaded articles started rolling out.
Wait, did he interview them recently?
Apex, Temper, and Banks working together to revive the brand.
They gave us a chance to revive the brand. This is recent. Like 100,000%.
Should have interviewed
me. It's gonna be a movie, and I plan to make everybody who thought they caught a bag and caught a lick on your boy look like a retard and feel dumb.
Behind the scenes, GameSquare made a move that would change everything. They took FaZe Clan and split it in 2. Esports and social media. For years, those ran under one roof. Now they were separate entities. Esports stayed under the original legal structure, but the content side, the streamers, the houses, the whole culture of FaZe, fell under a brand new company called FaZe Media. When does Matt Kalish come into the picture?
Literally, I don't know. They're both from Lowell, Massachusetts. They met.
Wait, they're both what?
Come into the picture.
Literally, I don't know. They're both from Lowell, Massachusetts.
I didn't hear what he said. Oh, he said a city?
They met somehow. They bonded over cryptocurrency. Next thing I know, he's investing $11 million into FaZe Media.
Days after the acquisition finalized, GameSquare sold 49% of FaZe Media to Matt Kalish, the co-founder of DraftKings, for $11 million.
See, people don't even know this, dude.
That whole structure of how that went down, I was not informed. I was in the picture. if you go look at the picture of the article, I was standing in the picture. But did I know anything about that article or the detail that was happening? No, not at all.
By late April, the revival began rolling out. FaZe wiped most of their roster clean, leaving just a handful of OGs. Then they announced the new roster, a group of streamers that weren't as well known online.
Richard, hey, let's have a chat. You dropped the roster, bud. I think you also dropped the ball.
The internet was quick to voice their opinions, but Banks had a vision and he was sticking to it.
Everyone was wrong.
I can't apologize for doing what feels right. I can't apologize for wanting this to be fun again. I can't apologize for trying to do right by the brand.
Ron needs help.
If it was the right decision
Tough shit, I'm watching a video.
Or get out of the way, I would do that in 2 seconds because I'm indebted to FaZe Clan. I've seen FaZe be mismanaged and abused and the life sucked out of it for so long that like all I want to do is I want to see the brand run and win and thrive because it deserves to.
He knew if you take a group of guys, throw them into an environment where everything is carefree, let them have fun, and capture it on camera, it works.
Oh gosh, wait, this was the first subathon environment where bro. Who remembers this? Damn,
it's carefree, let them have fun, and capture it on camera, it works. It's the same strategy from the FaZe New York house. He was just trying to recreate that. With that $11 million from Matt Kalish, FaZe created the perfect environment. They rented an LA mansion, paid for content ideas, hired an entire support staff, removed any stress about money or bills, and just let the streamers make the best content possible. By the end of 2024, it had worked. The new FaZe roster had taken over the internet. Their clips flooded TikTok. Their streams became some of the biggest on the platform. They all set new peaks, breaking viewership and subscriber records. At the Streamer Awards, FaZe Clan was named the best content org. Banks' vision was proven right.
You guys have heard the story a million times. I guess I can run it through one more time. We got stolen from us, me and my boys. Shout out Tommy, Rain, Apex. Got it back. Did the only thing that there was to really do, which was wipe the slate clean, hit the reset button, give the fresh start. People told us we were dumb. People told me I was ruining FaZe. People asked me, who the f is Lacy? Who the f is Black Boy Max, Stable Ronaldo. Who the is Silky? I guess now they know. Damn!
My worst year turned into my best. I ended up peaking at a new level.
Why are y'all saying who the fuck is Lacy?
That I never thought I could hit. You know, I met all my friends here that I like to call family, and I retired my mom this year.
This year has been crazy. Y'all changed my life. Obviously, this is fire. This is fire. We going for more awards next year for sure.
Yeah,
but as 2025 came into the picture, things started to shift. And to understand why, we need to talk about money. Specifically who owned what and who was left holding the bag. When GameSquare formed FaZe Media, it started as a textbook 51-49 split.
Here we go.
GameSquare moved all of FaZe's IP, logos, and trademarks into this new entity and kept 51% control. Matt Kalish invested $11 million for the other 49%. That cash went straight into FaZe Media's bank account, funding the houses, the staff, the whole revival. Simple enough. But then in June 2024, a third player entered the game. Banks wanted his piece, so he took out a $9.5 million loan from Matt Kalish, then used to buy out exactly half of GameSquare's stake, making him a 25.5% owner of the company.
Diamond hands by GameSquare. But if Banks has been involved in this process since day one and gave GameSquare the blessing to buy the entirety of FaZe Clan, as he has said, how the did he end up letting them sell an eighth of the business back to him for basically $10 million when they bought the entire thing for 14? Like, why give GameSquare...
Wait, when you word it like that?
Did he end up letting them sell an eighth of the business back to him for basically $10 million when they bought the entire thing for 14? Like, why give GameSquare your blessing to then turn around and buy an eighth of the company?
Well, I think the most obvious answer is the correct one here, where it wasn't planned and things just started happening and you took advantage of it as things popped up.
Here's the thing, unlike Kalish's original $11 million, which went into building FaZe Media, Banks' $9.5 million didn't help the brand at all. So that money went straight to GameSquare's corporate balance sheet. GameSquare got paid, and they were willing to sell because they'd already gotten what they wanted. Listen to the CEO of GameSquare say it himself.
Really, there was two main assets, FaZe Esports and FaZe Media. The FaZe Media side of it was an asset that we helped clean up, but for us, in the public company environment, our focus was on...
It's not Eddie.
Really, there was two main assets, FaZe Esports and FaZe Media. The FaZe Media side of it was an asset that we helped clean up, but for us, in the public company environment, our focus was on FaZe Esports. Gives us real reach with audience. FaZe Esports is profitable, it's growing.
Oh, yeah.
You know, FaZe Media is still in a bit of a rebuild, it's burning a bit of cash, so...
The media side, the streamers, the content, was just an add-on they were happy to offload. They got the esports teams they actually wanted, plus $9.5 million in cash for selling half of something they considered a bonus. But GameSquare got paid twice.
Damn, yo, I ain't gonna lie, GameSquare made out good! Yo, GameSquare hit a fucking lick! They kept the esports team and got a 10 mil bonus.
November of 2024, they entered into a $10 million convertible note transaction with Matt Kalish. To translate, Matt Kalish gave them another $10 million in cash to pay off some other random debt, and in return, he could either take shares in GameSquare itself or claim their remaining 25.5% stake in FaZe Media. By April 1st, 2025, the deal closed. GameSquare's remaining equity was transferred to Matt Kalish, making him the single largest shareholder of FaZe Media with 75.5% ownership.
Wait, when did this happen?
Kalish, making him the single largest shareholder of FaZe Media with 75.5% ownership.
Founder of DraftKings is Matt Kalish, who is on the board at FaZe.
So, to recap, GameSquare bought FaZe Clan for $14 million.
Wait. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even know that. Cap? No, I had no idea he bought more in April, is what I'm saying. I didn't know.
Was transferred to Matt Kalish, making him the single largest shareholder of FaZe Media with 75.5% ownership.
Founder of DraftKings is Matt Kalish, who is on the board at FaZe.
So, to recap, GameSquare bought FaZe Clan for $14 million in stock, then sold half of the company back to Banks and Kalish for $20 million in cash, and still got to keep the part of the company they actually wanted, the esports teams. Meanwhile, Matt Kalish had poured over $30 million into the revival of FaZe, and once he got majority ownership, he started trying to recoup that money. From day one, Banks and Kalish seemed closely aligned.
What's going on, buddy?
Matt, you're on vlog right now.
In August of 2024, Banks said on a podcast that Banks Group owned the majority of FaZe Media.
So FaZe Media is a company that we just set up a couple months back. Banks Group actually owns the majority of it now. 74.5%, I believe, is what it is, finally.
And just days after Kalish received GameSquare's 25.5%, Banks tweeted out that he owned 100% of FaZe Media, which I'm pointing out because he's essentially framing the two of them as just one entity, almost like they're inseparable. By May 2025, conversations about restructuring FaZe started happening. At this point, money was flowing one way. FaZe funded talent, covering 6 figures per month in rent, content costs, staff, food, but wasn't seeing anything really come back.
How does the business of FaZe work now? Like, who owns FaZe?
Obviously, we don't own a crazy amount because we're not the ones who put up millions of dollars a month to do the house, $1 million for employees, for content, or whatever.
They'd signed sponsorship deals with G Fuel and 4Loco worth millions, but millions go quick when you're bankrolling an entire content operation. Leadership started negotiating a revenue split with talent. Rumors online speculated 80-20. Talent keeps 80%, and FaZe takes 20% of everything. Twitch revenue, YouTube ad money, sponsorships, the whole works.
They were supposed to sign a contract where they would be giving up 20% of their income to join FaZe.
I'm gonna be honest, you guys freaking out about 20%? That is not crazy. 20%? That's like a market rate.
Initially, not much came from these early talks. FaZe kept paying rent, covering content costs. Meanwhile, the talent kept growing.
I'm sorry, but it's fair. In terms, yes, it's fair, but in terms of, I gotta watch what I say here. In terms of being told from the very beginning what you would own and that this would never happen, and then it being flipped 2 years later, that's where the problem was.
Stream viewerships rising, subscriber counts climbing. The guys in FaZe were printing money as some of the biggest names on the internet, and FaZe was still paying most of their expenses.
I live in an $80,000 a month house with all of my best friends. I get to wake up whenever I want. I get to go live whenever I want, and I get to do whatever I want for free. And then I get to make 100% of the money I make from it. How can I not sit here and be blessed? Exactly.
Then on June 27th, something interesting happened. A trademark was filed for a talent agency called HardScope. But the funny thing is, it was filed by FaZe Media.
Moochie girl, thanks for the 5 gifted.
By the end of the summer, 2 things happened. First, after a series of drama that Banks was constantly at the center of, the talent asked him to step down publicly from his role as CEO. Banks doesn't make content, and the backlash from his actions ultimately fell into the talent's chats. They were the ones left answering for it. So he stepped down.
Also, chat, just to say hype, if that was the thing, was 20%, you know, that's not...
FaZe Banks stepped down as CEO of FaZe Clan.
Banks had just recently stepped down as CEO.
There's a lot of being handled in the back end that y'all just don't need to know about.
Second, after negotiations continued to escalate, one member decided to leave FaZe entirely.
Yes, I'm leaving FaZe. Like I just said, I can't fully go into depth why I'm leaving FaZe, but I am leaving.
Blackboy Max said he wanted to build something that he actually owned and shared concerns over what control talent actually had.
And person who introduced me tells me, according to my assistant and my creative director at the time, who were sitting in on all calls because they're on my team, tell me I have to fire my manager and get rid of him, or I can't be here.
Which is valid, because if FaZe can make the houses, the furniture, and the staff appear, they can also make it disappear. As negotiations continued, HardScope was going. The agency started hiring employees, started to make a portfolio piece based on the success of FaZe Clan. By mid-November, logos were being finalized. Long-term FaZe employees were being transitioned to the new agency. It was becoming clear that HardScope was the future of the business for Matt Kalish. Then he made it his full-time focus. Matt Kalish announced that he was stepping down from his role as the president of DraftKings, a company he co-founded 12 years ago and turned into a billion-dollar behemoth.
I decided to leave DraftKings and transition out to do this full-time to launch HardScope, which is kind of the platform that FaZe operates on. You know, I felt like it was the right time for me to go all in on that, and I'm really excited to be doing it.
In his announcement post on LinkedIn, he teased what was coming next, a new platform focused on the creator economy. But he closed with something that, in hindsight, sounds a bit eerie. It reads, "While I am keeping the details close to the vest until mid-December..." Focus. Matt Kalish announced that he was stepping down from his role as the president of DraftKings, a company he co-founded 12 years ago and turned into a billion-dollar behemoth.
Huh? Watching this video. The real story behind FaZe's collapse.
And who uploaded that?
Golf cart. Yeah. Yeah. Just watching, not really saying much.
That's crazy. You can say things about us, but you can't say anything about them.
I know, kind of sucks here. No, I think this guy may post good videos, so I'm just checking. Yeah, about 10 minutes left.
Anything important?
I mean, just
say it.
No, I got the text to do. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just.
Oh God.
Yeah.
What is it? Wait, so like anything that like important to watching? Should I watch it or not really?
I mean, yeah, it's a good watch. He's just pretty much saying like what he thinks happened. Basically, he's saying like what from the video that I'm watching, he's saying what he thinks happened is like FaZe Media transferred into a new agency that wanted to sign us. And I don't know. I'm just watching the video though. I don't have a comment. I'm just watching it.
Dude, I got sent like 80 packages in my PO, bro. It's love. Like
80?
Dude, like 100.
I got 4 on my birthday.
What?
I got 4 packages on my birthday.
Did you check it out? It's crazy. It's like 100 packages, bro.
Hey, congratulations, bro.
I decided to leave DraftKings and transition out to do this full-time to launch HardScope, which is kind of the platform that FaZe operates on. You know, I felt like it was the right time for me to go all in on that, and I'm really excited to be doing it.
In his announcement post on LinkedIn, he teased what was coming next, a new platform focused on the creator economy. But he closed with something that, in hindsight, sounds a bit eerie. It reads, "While I am keeping the details close to the vest until mid-December, those who know me understand my DraftKings DNA runs deep. In everything we do, we always play to compete fiercely and win."
Okay.
The official launch of HardScope happened at the Streamer Awards.
Welcome to the 5th Annual Streamer Awards.
The same night that FaZe Clan hit a new high. The same night multiple FaZe members stapled their names into internet history. The same night FaZe was crowned the best content org for the 2nd year in a row.
And the Streamer Award goes to FaZe Clan.
HardScope's launch video ran multiple times throughout the event, broadcasting how they revived FaZe Clan and were now opening their services to creators and brands alike. That's when conversations ended and ultimatums began. Sign a contract or get out.
You know when it started though? We just won a fucking stream org of the year, gang. That same night, it went to hell, chat. We didn't even have time to celebrate. That same night, cooked. GG.
It was genuinely perfect for 2 years, bro. Back-to-back orgs of the year. Like, the guys were crushing it. Everybody was doing their own thing. I just think the infrastructure that was put around FaZe the last 2 years, I don't know what's going on. I don't know how it even led to that. Like, the things can get so bad that everyone's forced out because of just stupid deals. And the org isn't anything without the talent.
The entirety of FaZe, both the streamers who had just joined and those who'd been a part of it for over a decade, officially left the org.
Yo, chat, y'all seen the news? Who's seen the news?
I don't want to be cliche. I don't want to drag this, but as you can tell by the title, I left FaZe, and it's really something, like I said, I don't want to be cliche, but something I never really expected to say.
I officially left FaZe Clan.
You know, I decided to leave.
We have decided as a group that obviously it was in our best intention to leave FaZe Clan.
I have officially left FaZe Clan. It is sad, man. It really, really is sad. Especially for me, man. We got so close to fixing it, and we just won org of the year, and it's sad, bro. It is. Even now, talking about it, it's sad. 14 years later that this is how it will be coming to an end, man.
Here's the thing, I don't really think anyone's the villain here. It's hard to blame Matt Kalish for wanting to recoup the $30 million he poured into this thing. And the direction he's taking with HardScope, it's objectively a more sustainable business model, something they can actually scale in ways a content group never could. As for the talent, if those contracts had been on the table from day one, a lot of them probably would have signed. But you can't expect them to sign now. Not when they're this big. Not when they've seen what happens when someone else controls your brand. Because FaZe proved it, twice. Social media is a business now. And if you don't own what you build, someone else will decide what happens to it.
This was one of the worst decisions I've ever made in my entire life. I gave up my entire adult life to this. I have never made not one singular dollar outside of my salary via FaZe. Not selling it, not buying it, raising money. Where's the money? I'm this f***ing guy who's trying to take everything from everybody. Where is it? Then why am I millions of dollars in debt?
When it comes to Banks and what he owns, things get pretty blurry fast. From the surface, it looks like HardScope falls under FaZe Media, which would mean that if Banks still owns his shares of FaZe Media, he'd technically be a part owner of this new talent agency. You know, the one that's now the full-time focus of a multi-billionaire with a proven track record of scaling companies to insane heights? Banks has tiptoed around this topic. From what I've seen, he's never publicly said he sold his shares. He's just said that he's not involved in FaZe, but has never spoken a word of HardScope. But all in all, the real problem with FaZe was never the people. It was always the same impossible question. How do you turn magic into a business without killing the magic?
FaZe Media, Banks, and Kalish still own the IP for FaZe. Can it ever exist again?
You know, while it's in their hands, because they technically own the IP, they could, at this point, you know, Matt Kalish has enough money to just let that die if he wants to, you know, and just like never sell it again. And I don't know, really anything could happen.
Would you want to see FaZe revive, come back from the dead once again, even if that meant that you couldn't be a part of it?
I don't envision that it's going to be attempted to be revived, but maybe I'm wrong. I really don't know.
I think everybody's kind of like just defeated at this point. They've given up. Like they've always had a sliver of hope. Maybe even me, like why I still live in LA? Like why the f do I still live in LA? Like I've been in this apartment for 5 years. I fucking hate it. Why do I live here? Maybe like the whole time I lived here, like I wanted to move, but there was a sliver of hope. Maybe something will change in FaZe. I want to make sure I'm here for it. I don't know. Maybe that's the reason.
I think part of me needs to just bury it and move on with my life. As hard as it is, like I always love it. I always wish for the logo in the company to be successful. I just don't know what that would mean if it came back again.
The ultimate downfall of FaZe Clan highlights the fundamental problem with the business model behind content groups. We've seen it time and again. They're destined to fail. The only group that has truly stood the test of time is the Sidemen, and the reason why is pretty simple. They own the company themselves. Every member has equal shares and voting power. But most importantly, their friendship is priority number one. And that's what makes FaZe Clan's story so tragic. They had that too once, but as the business evolved, it shredded everything that the logo once stood for.
The reason FaZe fell apart is there was no glue in the foundation of our friendship. What makes me sad is like, no way we built something that low-key just changed the internet. It did. And yet we built something so beautiful, yet don't have an unbreakable bond, and it breaks my heart. That alone tells me that there was no saving FaZe, because if the brotherhood wasn't there, FaZe isn't there.
I think as things got bigger, as a lot more people got involved, I think everyone just grew apart and just had different things we focused on outside of FaZe. That's like a normal life thing anyways, you grow apart from people, but throw in all this, and it's just like, you know what really sucked the most was the only time that we would talk was about problems.
In 2021, I actually was dealing with severe financial issues because I paid $1 billion in medical bills. I have insane family expenses, taxes, of course. I was getting rinsed left and right while making no income. And FaZe knew that. And they wanted to give me a lump sum of like, what, $500K that they owed me. And they said, but sign an NDA, we're not paying it. Called my mom. I said, Mom, you're trying to hold this money over my head. I know we need it. I'll sell my cars. I'll sell my jewelry. I'll sell whatever it takes. I'm not doing it.
Chad, I think he was over-exaggerating with $1 billion, right?
We're proud. Here, I'm bad.
I think he was just like saying a number.
I do still feel the human emotions of being sad.
He paid a bill in medical bills? There's no way. I think he was just saying like, oh, I paid $1 billion. Just saying like, I paid a lot of money.
Deep of it, or look back at old videos or whatever, like, it gives me a really weird feeling in my stomach.
Okay, my bad. What were you saying?
Yeah, I think we were just talking about,
Oh, the NDAs.
Yeah.
Now, my bad, because that time is so sensitive for me, bro. Like, because again, one thing I don't like is like, I'm the only one that didn't sign the NDA, and like when they were trying to force me to get the money, and they knew everything I was going through. I don't know if Apex did too much, but Tommy and Banks kept saying, I don't see the problem, sign the NDA. What do you want us to do? And it just f***ed me up, bro, because they did not see a singular issue with them holding money over my head and saying like, no, sign this NDA or we're not giving you shit.
Yeah, it's not the best, unfortunately, where we're at. Like, are we all ever gonna be in the same room again? No, probably not. Like, I was gonna say maybe when someone dies, but I think even if someone dies, like, I don't know if everybody, like, I can't tell you who would show up and who wouldn't.
Some of us will never be able to get it out of our system, bro, because it's such a one-on-one experience. Like, I'll never get to be a kid again, right? So I'll never get to build my childhood dream as a kid and watch it come to fruition. I'll just never have that again.
You know, I have just a deep love genuinely for like FaZe. Everything to do with FaZe. All the people that were in it, all the people that supported it. Just sucks that most people are gonna remember it for the nastiness that kind of happened. But like people that know, the people that experience that feeling that I'm talking about that I can't put into words. No, and I just love connecting with people that have
Rest
that
in
same
peace, man.
feel. And I'm sure a lot of people that are watching this are those people too. So, you know, I'll be on the internet watching and figuring out where to plug in, like I said. But yeah, nothing much to say. But thank you guys for having me on it, and you know, shout out to everybody that supported FaZe at any point. I appreciate it.
Damn, rest in peace, bro. R.I.P. FaZe, dude. R.I.P. FaZe, bro. He covered he covered some of it. He covered some of it, you know. Fortunately, I can't say much, but I mean, some of it's covered. Some of it is definitely covered in this video. But that's his opinion, you know, this video. That's what he thinks happened. I'm sure he got, you know, dug a little bit to get the info he got in here, but you know, I can't really say much.